everybody, my name is Tanya and this is my TBR for February. So remember in my January TBR video where I said I wanted to set laid back TBRs this year? And hands up who believe that? No. So, as nobody could have foreseen, my TBR for February has gotten quite extensive, but there's good reason and I'll show you soon. So first, the staples for the month. The next Agatha Christie that I am up to is Evil Under the Sun, and I'm so excited about this because it is one of my all-time favourites and it's been a long time since I've read it. So for the next staple, I'm moving on to the books I read in year 8 for my school books project this year. So the ones that I'm up to are Dougie by James Maloney and Came Back to Show You I Could Fly by Robin Klein. This one in particular, I do remember the story of, but it's quite hazy and I don't think I've reread it since school. Dougie I might have read since, I'm not quite sure, but the storyline of this one's a little bit clearer, or at least the ending. Next one that I started in January, I haven't completed yet, but I would like to get through John Marston's South of Darkness. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I'm about 100 pages in, so I've got a bit to go, but it did move really quickly. I read that in a couple of sittings, so hoping I can dedicate some time to this before I get to the insanity that is the rest of my TBR. So the reason that my February TBR is looking a little bit insane are those blasted Booktube reading buddies. So this month is the Fantasy February Challenge on the Booktube Reading Buddies Goodreads group. I'll leave links to all the books in the description. And I love fantasy, and there are so many fantastic things on the challenge list that I am wanting to read and have been meaning to read for ages, and a couple of them that I even purchased recently and have now turned up on the challenge list. And I nominated and then seconded quite a number of large books, so I've got them all to show you here. I don't know what I'll get through, but I'm really looking forward to them. So first off, starting with the book that I nominated for Fantasy February, I will be reading The Colour of Magic by Terry Pratchett. This is something that I've owned for ages and something that was recommended to me by a friend probably a good 10 years ago now, and I've been meaning to read it ever since, so I figured this was the perfect opportunity to finally get to it and really looking forward to it. This will be something that's a little bit smaller and hopefully lighter between some of the big heavy fantasy things that I have picked out for this month. Next up, something that I've also owned for years and have also been meaning to read for a long time and has been getting a lot of hype on Booktube lately, so I'm really excited to get to it, and that is Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. All of the books I have here are first books in series, so if I end up loving everything, which I'm sure I will be, I'm going to be in big trouble trying to continue on with everything, but it's all good. So I've got that one. Next I have something I was planning on reading anyway for Fantasy February, and now Year of Cosmere has been announced, which is perfect timing. So next month I'll also be trying to read The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. Brandon Sanderson is an author that I've been to read for quite a while, and we're wanting to get to something for him this year, and so when it was nominated in Fantasy February I definitely wanted to grab for it. But the Year of Cosmere I'm really excited about because, yep. So hopefully I'll be reading this and then continuing on the next 2 months with the further books in the series along with Year of Cosmere. I also own Steelheart, so I'll read that in the month when they come to that one, which I should have looked at before I started filming this video, but whatever. And then I'll see throughout the rest of the year whether I can join in with anything else. But at least the ones that I own I'd definitely like to read with the group this year, so this will have a dual purpose this month. I'm so excited to finally get to it, and yes, I do have the gorgeous UK edition that is just stunning. Next up, and another option for Fantasy February, I have The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. This is something that I've recently purchased, but again has been on my radar somewhat for several years and has been getting a lot of really good buzz on Booktube lately, and so I was sucked in by that, and now it's on Fantasy February, and it's big and looks wonderful, and I might be reading that next month. And then the last big fantasy book that I seconded for Fantasy February and would really like to get to, but getting to the point that I don't think I'm going to be able to read all of this. I have The Lies of Locke Namora by Scott Lynch, and again this is the first in a series and sounds fantastic and has been getting a lot of hype on Booktube lately and has been something that's kind of been on my radar for quite some time, and I'd love to get to it. There are also some graphic novels that were part of Fantasy February that I've placed on hold at the library, and we'll just see whether they arrive in time. So that's the first volume of Fables and the first volume of Pretty Deadly. And there's also short stories, so I might pick up those as well if they arrive in time and just to throw in. But as I said, I'm a huge fan of fantasy. These are some things that I've been meaning to read for the longest time, so I'm really hoping that I can get a good big reading month with fantasy books. There's some worlds that I've not experienced before that I just want to dive into, and I can't wait. And so now we're up to the fun portion of this video where I get to pick my next Booktube Recommends project. I just know with all of these big fantasy books that I've got, it's going to be one of the huge ones that comes out of the jar this month. And we'll just deal with that. That'll be fine. I've got some of the big ones that are in here on audio as well as book form. And possibly some of the ones in the Fantasy February I could find on audiobook as well. I heard good things about the Assassin's Apprentice one on the thread in the Goodreads group that's narrated by a narrator that I really like, so I might pick that up. We'll just see what happens. Let's go. Okay, so again, not looking, don't know what it is. This one will do. This one will do. I'm really excited about everything in here. Okay, it's spotty green, lovely. Is it upside down this time? I can't read it in the screen. Is it good? Ooh, it is Busted Out of Carolina, and this is the book that was recommended to me by Mercedes at Mercedes Book Musings, and it's one of the smaller ones. So win-win. The way that Mercedes describes it sounds so fantastic. It seems like such a really impactful read, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's in the middle of the stack of the stuff over there, so it's not quite as low down as Monkey Grip was, but I'll see if I can hook it out without causing a disaster. So the TBR jar has been very kind to me this month, and I have drawn out Busted Out of Carolina, which, like I said, is one of the smaller things on the list compared to some of the other huge things, so this is good. I would have done with it. I'm really enthusiastic about everything, so these will take priority over the Fantasy February stuff anyway, but this is great. In terms of audiobooks this month, I forgot to mention in my January wrap-up that I'm currently over halfway through Kidnap by Robert Louis Stevenson, really enjoying that, so I'll be completing that. Then I might find something from the Fantasy February that I can listen to, or the other option is the Blank Space book club that I read Ancillary Justice for last month. The next book's been revealed to be Americana by Timothy Ngozi Adichie, and I have that in audio form, so I might pick that up next. So this is the list of stuff that I'm hoping to read in February, which is the smallest month of the year. But anyway, my stables and then some really great looking fantasy reads. And looking at the stack, it's probably not, you know, any more crazy than some of the other months that I've set myself. So we'll just see what happens. If you've read any of these books, let me know what you thought of them and which ones I should prioritise for the Fantasy February challenge. As always, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!